right hand over your heart.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mayor. Quorum is present for the City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority.
Just for the public, the city provides the following two alternative methods for viewing and listening to the city council meeting as a convenience. One on Spectrum Cable Channel 35 with audio and limited video, and please check with your cable provider for details. And secondly, live online and later to be seen on Facebook at any time, on Facebook Live with audio and limited video at the City of Inglewood's Facebook page. The disruption of service of any alternative method does not preclude the City Council or other legislative body from taking further action on any agenda item. And so with that, we're going to now have public comment. Persons wishing to address the City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority on any item on the agenda may do so at this time. At this time. Are there any speakers? Okay, with that, we'll close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Successor Agency members, and Housing Authority members. Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 through 5.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members. Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. DR1.
Staff report recommending that the mayor and council members adopt the Urban Forest Management Plan, establishing the plan as a comprehensive guide for managing and maintaining city trees, ensuring their preservation and sustainable growth.
Move adoption.
Second.
Matt, looks like we have somebody
Presentation,
here.
yes.
Okay, now this is unusual and is not asked for, but I was interested in what our plan was, provided it didn't take more than 5 minutes.
Right, okay. So Mayor, I'd like to introduce Louis Atwell, who'll give an introduction, then introduce our guest speaker today.
All right, go right ahead.
Yeah, I had to give this preamble because Harry did such a good job writing it. So I have to say this, Mr. Mayor. It'll take 1 minute, and then he'll give 4 minutes.
All right.
All right, the Urban Forest Management Plan is a comprehensive document aimed at sustaining and conserving the urban forest. It defines strategic goals and practical recommendations to ensure the long-term well-being of urban trees and green spaces, emphasizing their role in enhancing air quality, city aesthetics, and community prosperity. The plan sets clear, measurable objectives to increase canopy cover, diversify tree species, reduce tree mortality, and engages the city in tree stewardship. It details strategies for tree planting, maintenance, disease management, climate adaptation, wildlife protection, and urban planning. Additionally, it emphasizes ongoing monitoring and community involvement to raise awareness and enhance the urban forest value. This plan serves as a crucial guide for preserving and improving Inglewood's urban forest, relying on collective efforts for success. And with that, I'd like to present Tim Carruthers from West Coast Arborists.
Welcome, Tim.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here, Mayor Butts and honorable council members. This is a very special project for myself. My grandparents live nearby in Westchester and Playa del Rey. Went to plenty of Kings games at the Forum when I was much younger, so this is nice. This is really a special opportunity for me. All right, so we're here to talk about the Urban Forest Management Plan that we worked on, and I wanted to also recognize Jeff Crane, my plant healthcare arborist, who was the primary writer of this plan. So the current state of your urban forest is summarized on this slide right here. So you have many trees within the city and even many species of trees. And that's a good thing. Diversity in your urban forest is actually very beneficial. You don't want all of the same kind of tree everywhere because when invasive pests or diseases come on trees, if you've got all the same thing, then it could wipe out potentially a lot of your trees. And trees are really should be looked at as infrastructure for your public. So you can see there you've got 210 unique species of trees. over 17,000 trees within the city that we have under inventory right now. It also consists of trees that we recommend for removal. There are stumps. There's lots of planting sites, which are like vacant tree sites where a tree could be planted that we know of. So it represents a lot of opportunity. This slide also summarizes what you have, or at least that we recognize too. So like I said, 17,000 trees. There's recommended removals that we know of that we suggest you remove because of different safety factors or they might be dead and things. Stumps, if you remove those can become vacant sites where new trees can be planted as well. And then it summarizes the benefits there of having trees, right? So you've got your carbon storage, you've got pollution removal, avoiding runoff. So as we get storms, some of that water is captured if the tree slows down that rainwater and can actually soak into the ground instead of running off. All right, so as far as the vision goes, it's pretty important to capture that in the plan, which is what Jeff did. So the first one right there you can see is increasing canopy cover citywide, especially underserved areas. So right now we know there are gaps in the urban forest where you can plant more trees, and we want to see the canopy cover, that cover over the streets increase over time. Secondly, optimize urban forest management standards and practices for more efficient application of resources. So we know that there are American National Standards Institute standards for tree care, so we've applied those to the plan as well as the best management practices from International Society of Arboriculture. Third, guidance framework for city officials, urban forest management staff, and community members to maintain healthy trees and sustainable urban forest over time. Fourth, it's obviously a good thing to have a partnership. So between your staff, the public, and contractors, everybody is working towards the goals and the vision that's captured in the plan. All right, as far as specific goals for the plan, one of them was to streamline the tree maintenance process and develop a pruning schedule. That was like for first and foremost on the priority, right? So we've taken a look at the inventory of trees and then classified it into what we feel is the important work types. So you've got some trees that'll require more frequent maintenance on them because they're fast growing. So those will be like in their own zone or district for pruning purposes. And then you've got other trees that can be maintained on a 5-year schedule because they aren't growing as fast and don't have the space constraints that other trees do. Number 2, continuity of species on streets using species of similar pruning needs for more efficient grid pruning. So what that refers to is not having the same exact species of tree on the street, but at least trees that look similar and have the same maintenance requirements. So when you come down the street to do that maintenance, they all require about the same amount of maintenance, if that makes sense. Number 3, identify gaps and deficiencies in canopy cover. I mentioned that already. And then number 4, to develop a tree species palette. So that's basically a list of trees that you have approved to be planted in the city. You recognize that these are good trees to have in your public right-of-way. And as sub bullets for that basically is provide appropriate species for varying parkway space because not every tree has the same parkway width, right? Replaces species with high maintenance costs due to frequency or difficulty of trimming needs. So take out some of those high maintenance trees in the palette so you're working with low maintenance. That saves you money over time. Eliminate species of a high number of historical branch failures, right? Because some trees are naturally more prone to failure. So take those out of the palette and put some better structure trees in there. And this palette will also promote more drought tolerant and climate ready species of trees. Number 5, develop an annual planting program to fill existing known vacant planting sites, like I mentioned. Number 6, develop a strategic plan for removal of high maintenance species and aging trees, those that have outgrown their available space and are causing infrastructure damage, as an example. And then number 7, provide best management practices and standards for tree selection, installation, and care. And finally, obtain Tree City USA status. So there's many communities within the United States that have this Tree City USA status, and it is really beneficial for the public to be recognized that you care about your trees and you have an Arbor Day celebration, a tree planting, and it gets the community involved and interested in trees. So how are these visions realized in the
How much more
UFMP?
time is this going to be?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we're almost done here. So there's tree canopy cover percentages that we've broken down into the plan. You can see the number of vacant sites right there. Here's a snapshot of your canopy cover currently. So all the bright green represents tree canopy, private trees and public trees. Each of those points represents a planting location. Then there's a breakdown of basically how many trees you're starting out with, number of vacant sites, the mortality that's expected each year, and then if you plant 500 trees this year, it's expected to go till 2042 to eliminate those remaining vacant sites. That's a rough schedule. So as I mentioned, the plan itself is broken down into different zones. So you got your ficus, annual prunings, palms, and grid trimming. Here are the maps that show each one. So these are the ficus trees. This is zone 2. This would be the annual pruning needs. Palms. Arterial streets are all in one zone together. And then you get into the residential and commercial districts. So grid pruning year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. So this is basically optimizing what the inventory of trees that you have and then utilizing the ANSI standards and best management practices. So some of those goals I've kind of reiterated right there. The entire goal is to basically lower your tree maintenance costs over time. These are examples of annual trees here, palms. So this is the final slide. So I encourage the public to really get engaged in tree care, learn about the trees on your street, and hopefully the trees over time will be of great benefit to the community.
Okay, two
Thank you.
questions. How many trees do we have at present planted that the city
current-
owns?
Currently, right now, 17,052, I think is what the number is.
Mhm.
Over
And that is
17,000.
down from like 19,000 about 10 years ago?
That's a good question.
Mr. Mayor, I don't think we had quite the number of trees just over time. This is the latest count, and I believe this is trees within the public right-of-way.
I totally understand that, but we've cut down a number of trees, and mainly they were ficus trees. There's still a problem with ficus trees, roots growing laterally, disrupting sidewalks, and the ones that were in the right of way in the street, that they disrupted the streets. Is that true?
There could be ficus trees, yes, that are causing those infrastructure damages.
Okay, and so the question I have is well, I know that that's been proven over time because I get the complaints about people's streets and sidewalks. And so what I don't want us to do, I don't think we should be doing, is planting more ficus trees because the roots grew laterally, but he mentioned ficus trees in the plan.
No, the plan, excuse me, Mayor, but I think it was
I
not
knew-
presented.
I knew
Yeah,
you'd defend
Right, yeah,
it
right.
already.
So basically, our plan is not to plant any more ficus trees. In fact, there's going to be a schedule whereby each year we'll look at those ficus trees that need to be removed
Because
because of the damage that
they're
they're causing
very
to us. Right, right.
destructive. All
So
right.
no, our plan does not include planting any more ficus trees.
Okay.
And I have a quick one too, Mayor.
And a quick one from Councilman
Real
Morales.
quick, in the last storms we lost 14 trees, one of which was humongous and tipped over based on kind of the strength of the roots and everything else. Is there gonna be part of a study where that's gonna be looked at too, so that in case there's a same type of rain, that we're gonna feel secure about that?
As far as studies go, yes, the city can authorize us as the tree contractor or another party to identify which trees need.
Well, specifically, there were trees on Hillcrest, and I don't know the type of trees, but in the rain, they tipped over and they caused damage to cars, and one hit a house. Do we know?
That was the biggest one, and then there was a variety of other ones that did.
So we want to make sure that's part of the study, so
Exactly.
that we don't replant those trees.
Yeah, risk assessment is one of the categories in the plan.
All right.
Then the second one was to expand, I heard, but just to make it clear, expand the list of qualified trees, and as the mayor said, steering away from the damaged trees, because right now there's only 2 or 3 that the folks can pick from for replacement.
There's a list.
And I'm assuming that it's gonna be expanded on, right?
Yes, we have a new palette, I believe, that's been prepared.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've opened Pandora's box. Does anybody else want to talk about trees?
I do.
Councilwoman
I
Gray
do
and then
too.
Councilwoman Gray and
Man,
then
trees are
Councilman
serious.
Thank you.
Padilla.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Adwell and the gentleman who just made the presentation. It's great to know that the city is looking at an urban forest management plan. And as the mayor said, there's been a lot of concern with trees damaging sidewalks and streets. And so I know the ficus tree has probably been the most intrusive. And so in your planning, is ficus trees your main goal in the beginning? I know you're looking at the city as citywide, but if that particular tree is the most intrusive, how does that fit into your planning process?
Sure, yeah, they'll be continuing to be pruned, but as you go through and you do, maybe capital improvement projects where you're doing street repairs, we can identify those trees that are doing damage to the hardscape, like you mentioned, and say, is it possible to remove this tree at this time? So that we're not doing them all at once and losing that canopy that we're trying to preserve, if that makes sense.
And I do want to make mention again, because I know Sadwell is very responsive, because I get a lot of calls about trees needing to be removed because they're impacting plumbing issues for a resident. So thank you.
Okay.
Councilman Padilla.
No, I just want to say thank you, especially, I know that we have quite a group of residents that are, as I like to call them, tree huggers. I'm one of them. I want to just thank Harry Frisbee for putting together a great report, Harry. Thank you, and thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
Harry.
presentation, sir. I always appreciate when residents will call and say, hey, my tree's falling, or we need to do this or that. And I reach out to Flynn or somebody else in Public Works, and I always tell folks, look, I'm not the tree expert, none of us are. We bring out West Coast arborists, they are the tree experts, and they're like tree doctors, right? They go out there and take a look at a tree, and there's some trees that look really healthy on the outside, but on the inside, they've got some issues going on. So I always appreciate when your folks come out on site and do an assessment, and then you guys make the determination, based on that condition, whether we just need to prune it and change the canopy or the look, or whether it needs to be removed. And then, like Eloy said, then those residents are offered a list of trees to choose from to replace it with. And so that's always important for us, is that these trees get replaced by something that maybe isn't as intrusive. So again, thank you for your report.
You're welcome, thank you.
Dion, you want to give it a hit too?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
You wanna climb the tree?
I want to climb the tree. Want to climb the tree. I want to. I want to thank. I want to thank our Public Works Director, Louis Atwell, for bringing this item to our attention. Louis and I have had many conversations about our landscaping within the District 4. And so I think that my cause prompted him to bring this item forward. I know that this is a very important piece of beautifying the city. When you look around the landscaping of the city of Inglewood, it needs some tender loving care. And you guys are really what we need right now to help bring together the life and look and feel of the city. So it's very important, very timely. And I'm looking forward to working with your team in District 4 to make sure that we beautify our city with lots of lush trees like a lot of other cities have. So thank you again for bringing this item, because this is very needed right now. So thank you.
Okay, before we have the vote, I want to make it clear, though, we've had an arborist for a number of years. We've had a plan for a number of years. This is like a little update report. And one of the biggest continual perpetual liability issues we have are people that trip and fall over sidewalks that are erupted by tree roots, and particularly ficus trees. And so that's been a concentration of cities for quite some time. Also, we used to be in-house for our tree maintenance people and the people that remove trees. We contract for that now, and we have a much better-looking landscape because it used to be that we would trim your trees every 20 years, whether you needed it or not. Now, with our inventory, we do about every 3 years. So this is something the public does need to know. And I want to thank you for the report, however lengthy. I want to thank Harry Frisbee, who is Johnny on the spot on a number of issues in this city, and we appreciate you, Harry. And he's Santa Claus as well. So there you go. So,
the Colonel.
So thank you, Madam City Clerk. Could we have the call for the vote?
Yes, council members Gray,
Aye.
Padilla, Morales,
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. So later that same day, we go to A1. Jeffrey, you need to come here more often. CM1,
No oral reports from the city manager's office.
CC1.
Yes, Mayor, real briefly, I would like to, well, on Saturday, I attended the event with Councilmember Padilla over at the Fairview Heights, and I wanted to just let him know you always put on a wonderful event. I know that the residents in District 2 are happy. Congratulations again on Fairview Heights celebrating 100 years. Thank you. And then lastly, I wanted to wish my staff person, Destiny, a happy 31st birthday. This is her last year being on the calendar, and it's special, and so I wanted to wish her a happy birthday. Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. There are no appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Public comment. Any persons wishing to address City Council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. 1 minute.
We have residents that has to get a permit in order to park. Then we have a game. People come in and take the parking. Parking enforcement can't write all those tickets because they have to bring it up on the computer. If they had that little placard hanging in the window, they can ride down the street, see who belongs there and who's not. And then the other issue I have, we need a night meeting.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
I just had a quick question. I was curious to know how long we've been doing business with West Coast, and did it get bid out properly? Because I'm familiar with the vendor, and they are tree doctors, well known in the city and county of Los Angeles.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am.
In less than 42 seconds, worthy number.
Thank you, ma'am.
How's it going, Mayor, but City Council? I always stand on the scripture, God know your heart, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I just want to let the City Council know 6 locations open up by March for our youth ministry, $6 million investment for some investors that know me. I have 2 products, that's Best Buy, Walmart, Target, Soul Vision Gaming, headphone gaming chairs, and Mayor Butts, I've been keeping you up for about 10 years about the mouth guard company, all the athletic companies that have our mouth guards. That I respect Chris Jackson, Ms. Tucker, the city code enforcement told the racist owner at 436 some wrong information that sabotaged that building. And I just want an investigation from Chris Jackson's office to go back and investigate 839 La Brea. The building was totally messed up way before I got in the building, and was whole city management, city council, Mayor Butts responsible for that building. And I want a meeting with the mayor and Councilman Morales. I've been leaving for messages for a long time. This gives somebody a fair chance. Mayor Butts, you know me from 20 years. I never left the vision that God gave me. But remember, we have 4 other states. It's done. Buildings is getting ready to open up. I own the building.
Okay, Curtis, we're at time.
Thank you. So I'm planning to hear from you, Mayor Butts.
We're at time, Curtis. All right, with that, we'll close public comment. Go to council comment. Councilwoman Gray, District 1. Oh, they got to warn you guys, internet is out on this floor. So if you had pictures that you wanted us to see, today we won't get to see them. And I'm disappointed because I had some too. But anyway, Councilwoman Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things I want to mention that were on the agenda. There was item 3 that had to do with a purchase order from general funds. It was for ammunition for the police department. It was 138,000 plus, but I wanted to know, I believe that certainly is a needed purchase. The other thing was, I think it was item 4, had to do with a grant. Item 4 had to do with a grant with, I think it was barriers, cameras for barriers to prevent anti-vehicles from running through barriers, to have cameras there to make sure that they can figure out who is actually doing that. So that was, I think there was a grant, so I wanted the public to be aware of that. Also, I attended a very, very important event along with the city council and the mayor and the senator in the assembly from this district on Sunday at SoFi Stadium. The Rams organization organized this event of elected officials in this area to support Israel. And so I was honored to be there with the group to do just that. So I want to thank Maria Camacho and the Rams organization. Also, I had a meeting with my commissioners last week. I brought all of them together. Most of them did attend to talk about the activities in District 1. We are planning a number of activities, and one that is scheduled for October 30th, which is a collaboration with the Inglewood Unified School District, Dr. Morris, to talk about school issues. So that is scheduled for October 30th at the ICOP Center from 6 to 8. So everyone is invited to come there who is concerned about school issues in District 1. Also, I have the second town hall meeting that is scheduled for November 8th from 6 to 8 at the Senior Center. It will be the same format. I'm inviting department heads to come from the city to talk about, to give an update on their issues, on their responsibilities, and also other issues in the district that I will be inviting people to come and make a presentation. The police chief, as well as the school district, Dr. Morris, and some others, in Nella Hospital, and some others that will be invited to come. And if there's any other suggestions that you have, please notify me of any other speakers that you would like to have at the November 8th meeting. And I also want to mention that I do have a newsletter that comes out about every 2 weeks. If you're not on the mailing list, please contact Gwen at the ICOP Center. Give her your email address, because I would like to keep my constituents informed of what we are doing in District 1. Also, I want to remind everyone that I will still be meeting with my constituents at the ICOP Center every fourth Thursday, 1 to 3, I believe it is, and 4 to 6. So I invite everyone to come down and be a part of that. So thank you.
Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Great, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to thank our community, man. Folks from not only Inglewood, but the surrounding community that came out on Saturday to help us do our 100-year celebration for the Fairview Heights community. So it was a great event. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Eloy, for coming out to help celebrate that event. It was standing room only crowd. Everybody had a great time. We unveiled the sign, and we'll have pictures of that for next Tuesday's meeting. But I wanted to thank the community, thank everybody for coming out to make that event such a huge success. It was just fun to see the kids out there as well, to be playing underneath our new canopy that's over the playground area there at North Park. So thank you for everybody for your support. I know Eloy did a great job of coordinating a presentation that we did earlier today that'll be on television. And I'm going to let him talk on that, but I just wanted to give Eloy a recognition for putting together a really good presentation. We had the media here, and we presented a key to the city. I'm going to let him talk about that in a few minutes, but thank you, Eloy.
Thank you.
Great job. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
I'm not going to let you talk about it, Eloy.
Oh, man.
Councilwoman Fogg, District 4.
Thank you. Yes, it was great, and we look forward to you talking about that event, Eloy. I want to make sure that our District 4 residents are aware that we are having our next town hall tomorrow evening. It will be at Hollywood Park Casino in our regular community room, and we're going to start at 5 p.m. We have some really good updates, excuse me. We have some really good updates. We have a presentation from the Hollywood Park new retail space that's happening over at the SoFi Stadium. So they're going to have some really good updates for our residents on, who's getting what, and some, interesting new vendors that are coming to the retail space as well. So it will be a great presentation. We have our public safety presentation. We'll have an ITC presentation. So lots of great updates. I please encourage you all to come out and attend. Again, that's tomorrow at 5 p.m. Hollywood Park. Also, I participated in a press conference with the mayor. This was in honor of Mr. Jose Galvez Pineda. He died, he was 41, December 6, 2020. And we announced a $25,000 reward leading to any information regarding his death. The case had gone cold, and so they wanted to renew life into the case. So we held a press conference. The mayor spoke, police chief spoke, and we tried to renew some interest. So we're hoping that somebody comes forth and identify themselves. This gentleman was a father of 5, and he was killed on a motorcycle. And the mother has been here several times right here in this audience, and so we want justice for his family. So we acknowledge that. Also, we paid tribute to Sabrina Barnes, our director, who we had her retirement celebration last week, and it was, I haven't even known her as long as my colleagues here, but she was well-known, well-liked, and she did an amazing job as our Director of Public Parks and Recs, and there will never be another Sabrina Barnes. So I had a great photo with her, but, the mayor said the internet is down. So just wish her well in her retirement. I believe, somebody correct me, 32 years, if I'm not
Going on
mistaken.
33. She's
33, thank you, Mayor. So 33 years with the city of Inglewood. So, yes, congratulations, Sabrina. And then lastly, I heard some horrible news, Mayor, if we can close, in honor of the mayor of Carson. My understanding is that she lost her grandson that was 21 years old. And so that's Lula Davis, and she's the mayor of Carson. And so unfortunately, her grandson met an untimely death at the age of 21. So if we can close in his honor, I was trying to get the name of the gentleman, but I could not get his name. But yes, it's very unfortunate. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And so I know Eli wanted to talk about this, but we're out of time, Eli.
No,
No, I want to turn it over to Councilman Morales,
yeah,
District 3.
and I will get to that. A couple things. So I did want to say that today, it's unfortunate because today I had like 50 pictures. So you
And they
guys aren't
were
going to
good-
get
and
to
they
see
were
them
good ones,
anymore. They were
too.
really good ones.
They were
I've been
good
working
ones.
on them all week. No, but honestly, the Fairview Heights that Alex did, I wish you would have seen those pictures because you would have really seen the diversity that exists in the city of Inglewood and has for a long time. So that's a celebration in itself. But what was brought up earlier is the press conference we did to give us key to the city to Rebecca Marie Gomez, better known as Becky G, who is a great artist in her own right. She was supposed to come and visit with us on the Hispanic Heritage Celebration. The dates changed early on, and she had concerts to attend, but we did it here. Another great announcement that happened was that the school district was here and announced that they received a grant to do a mural in celebration of Hispanic heritage, and they chose her likeness. So that's going to happen here in the next couple months during the holidays. And the reason, was special because she grew up in my neighborhood, talked about the same, walking to the same schools, walking to the same little Kelso market to get her treats and everything else. But what's unique is the fact that she's actually often calls the office to see if there's anything she can do. During COVID, she called to see if there was anything she could do for the families. During Christmas, she calls. And for someone so young to really have that kind of love for the city, and you could hear it when she speaks, how much she really loves Inglewood. So I was happy to do that. And thank you to the mayor, of course, and Alex and Dion who were there, and the rest of the council. So thank you, and Thomas and everyone else. We had a great little thing, and you should be able to see it somewhere. In regards to closing the meeting, I too want to close in honor of my father-in-law who recently passed. His name is Jimmy Kinoshita. He has lived in Inglewood for over 40 years. Has had 7 children, 6 girls, 1 boy. All grew up here and were raised in the city of Inglewood. Many still live here. He retired from the Inglewood Unified School District about 15 years ago and really, took pride in his work there, taking care of the field, Sentinel Field and everything else. And all the students from that era just really know him and loved him. But he was a great man, always, best father-in-law I could ask for. So he will be missed, and rest in peace, Jimmy Kinoshita. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. I want to compliment Jaime, Eloy's assistant. He put together a very nice event, and we really are proud of Becky from the block. And she's only our fourth key to the city.
First Latina.
First Latina, second woman. And so today, this morning, at about 9 o'clock, they had an LA Sports Innovation Conference presented by Hollywood Park over at SoFi. And there were delegations multinationally that came here to understand the benefits of having sports and entertainment and what a partnership with Inglewood could mean to countries as far away as Amsterdam. It was pretty, hold on one second, let me get rid of this. It was really fascinating. And so Inglewood is like this cosmic center. We used to think just of the county and the country, but internationally, people are coming here. And so I wanted to let everybody know that. We're going onward and upward, even though we had a long presentation about trees. We are Inglewood, and I think everybody is informed about the whole tree situation in Inglewood. And I want to close the meeting in the name of Lula Davis, his grandson, and Jimmy Kinoshita, and we are adjourned.
Thank you, Mayor.